Long ago, Lornar's Pass was so thick with dwarves that people hired guides to get through.
Difficult to believe.
Just look for the ruins. You'll see.
I've eradicated the destroyer.
Have you ever watched the stars move?
You mean shooting stars?
Normal stars. They move very slowly.
Maybe shooting stars are just normal stars that have moved very close to us.
Then why do they go so fast? I'm not convinced they're the same.
I remember one patient I had. She climbed the tallest tower in Radassun and tried to fly off the top.
Crazy. Why'd she do it?
Zoanthropy. She thought she was a bat.
Oh, it's so summery and hot and ridiculous out at the moment, guys. I basically can't record during the day because I get way too, like, hot and bothered and just uncomfortable and nasty. So it is currently the middle of the night in a lovely summery May hot spree, let's put it that way. And yeah, I wanted to get in, play a little bit more, take Casey a little bit deeper into the Shiver Peaks now, into not just one of my favorite areas, the Shiver Peaks, but one of my favorite areas of the game entirely. So let's get moving straight away. It's a bit of a walk we've got to go on. And, yeah, talk to you all about a little what's coming up. So, of course, the story as it currently stands, let's quickly recap ourselves. With a little cleverness, we tweaked a magical device from the Priory's vaults, and now we just have to test it. The magical adjustments to the old Dwarven relic worked. With this, we should be able to protect the sanguinary blade and keep its corruption from spreading. So, we've learned of a sword made of dragon's blood. At least I'm pretty sure they already announced it was made of... Oh, no, they just said blood. Well, it's going to be dragon's blood. That's not a big spoiler. We're going to find that in a second. A dangerous, corrupted blade that is currently in the hands of a bunch of crazy Norn, known as the Sons of Svanir, that worship one of the Elder Dragons. Which is just a spell, you know, a concoction for nastiness and disaster. And frankly... is a missed opportunity if we let that sword get away, a missed opportunity for learning, as we at the Priory are most inclined to do. So we got to go get it back. We had a bit of a detour to create like a sheath for it to actually contain the goddamn thing, and now it's just a matter of wrestling it out of the hands of these nasty dudes that, if you guys remember, in that tomb that we were exploring before, did look quite deadly. You know, the dredge were difficult to fight. And then these Norn came along and just destroyed them so handily. We found a single one who got corrupted and turned into this very scary monster that was a boss at the end of the instance. And genuinely, we were going to be cautious. Did you guys see that? Did you see the snow falling off of the trees? Man, that's an effect that is very rare. I hardly ever see that happen. That was awesome. I'm glad we got that on footage. As we move south now, believe it or not...
Time to bust some heads.
Okay, we'll try to bust some head, Casey. That's brilliant. Believe it or not, away from the snow here, really, we will still be in the Shiver Peaks, but we're going to go south to a little bit more of a temperate area. I guess what we're looking at is kind of the effects of the, what's it called? The rain shield? The rainfall? Something like that. But basically, if you've ever wondered why the climate in Kryta is like a bit hotter and more tropical than the climate in Ascalon, we can actually look to real-world climate activities. And we can say, look, if basically wind comes here, it forces it to rain down here, which means that you get a lot less rain over here, essentially. I think it's the idea. Oh, God, there's a Minotaur attacking us. It's only a calf as well. Get away, man. A boisterous, silly Minotaur calf thinking that it can do damage to us, when obviously it cannot, because we are growing stronger and stronger by the day. And maybe, anyway, maybe the rain shadow, that's it, right? Maybe that's the idea of what's going on a little here. So there's a portal that will actually take us into Bloodtide Coast, where Tyrix was... Wait, no, not Tyrix. Tyrix wasn't exploring there. Where Bract was exploring ever so recently. And we may even travel through that eventually ourselves. But it seems Casey's adventure south is not going to be in quite so tropical, hot, sunny, lovely areas of vacation spots filled with pirates. We're instead going to be taking more of a mountain pass. I will just quickly nip up here. What's going on? Hey, guys. So, yeah, like I said, we're near Lion's Arch. There are Lion Guard here. They seem to be building windmills of some description. This is Orlia's clearing. I don't think I've ever really stopped to ask these guys what's going on. Hey, Deputy Bahai.
May the Six watch over you.
Hey, she says, welcome to Elias Clearing. We got a little to offer, but you're welcome to stay as long as you need. What is this place, we ask? And she says, well, we send lumber east to Marshwatch Haven and to Lion's Arch. Supplies have been in short supply with all the pirate activity. Pirates, we ask? She says, yeah, Tyder Covington's main forces are east of here in Bloodtide Coast. There are also 2 small pirate encampments south of here and around the False Lake. So yeah, the Tyder Covington, I did tell you guys about a little bit before. That's the Hydra Queen, and she's the leader of those pirates, which are of the greatest number in Tyria. Are you guys going to talk to each other?
Heard the windmill groaning last night. Yeah, the gears need some grease. Well, we're out of grease. Have to wait for the caravan.
Okay, all right. Wasn't too interesting, but that's pretty cool. One thing I've really gained an enormous appreciation for when doing this with you guys is those little clips of dialogue at the start and the ends of these videos. My God, capturing that stuff and showing it all off for you has been brilliant. Like at the Priory, you have no idea, but there's so many like NPCs actually moving around that walk, you know, vast distances and get on with their jobs and move in fairly realistic ways to sometimes stop and have conversations. I've never, ever, ever in all my time playing this game properly stopped and just watched the way that NPCs move, because it takes a long time and it can be kind of boring, but if you really do have a reason to do it.
Water looks tempting.
Come here, now.
I'd go for a swim if it wasn't for pirates.
Pirates. Pfft, who needs them?
Maybe we'll get the order to clear them out.
Then we could both swim.
Wait, which order? The Lion Guard order, do we call this? They got some cool siege here. Or what are you talking about, the Dermot Priory? The Order of Whispers is sort of nearby-ish. Yeah, it's amazing. When you've actually got a reason to sit and watch and see how all these guys go, it's fantastic. This person challenged us to a fight as well. More Lion Guard. This is Lion Guard Met, who says, my strength ebbs as I wait for the next battle. Come and fight me so we may both grow more powerful. All right, I could go for a pleasant brawl. And
I'll break your bones and laugh doing it.
Jesus Christ, a pleasant brawl! You're going to break my bones and laugh doing it? Unbelievable. So, yeah, nice little hero challenge. I don't remember the last time we did one of these in an actual fight. Let's get the hounds out. This will be one of the last times we use these hounds for a while, I think, guys, because here I'm trying to use my earth stuff in the fire field to give myself lots of might so we do more damage.
So you can fight.
Yeah, wow, do you want to get up? Sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you that bad. Yeah, this will be one of the last times we use the hounds, because I want to get us a new elite skill. We still haven't seen an elementalist.
Remember when that Norn threw you into a wall?
Yeah, he even shifted to a bear. Every organ in my body felt that.
I'll never drink that much again.
You always say that.
Yeah, you never want to mess with a Norn, man. Not when they can transform like that. Yeah, we still haven't seen an Elementalist. We've seen the Wolf, we've seen the Avatar of Melandru, we've seen the Reaper of Grenth, the Hounds of Balthazar. But look, there are 3 Elementalist ones. So let's go off, first of all, with the glyphs. So I've shown you these before. These were the skills that have different effects based on attunement. Well, we've only got 2 more to buy, so let's do it. First, you've got the Glyph of Renewal. Revive allies with different attunement effects. So this is just different ways to res people up from range. Kind of fun. But then there's the last one. The Elite. Glyph of Elementals. Summon an elemental based on your attunement. So if you play a Necromancer, as in many RPGs, you can kind of become a master of the undead. You can summon undead minions to support and help you. So if you're a Necromancer, you get tons of AI that runs around with you. But if you do play an Elementalist, you can kind of conjure creatures to help you out too. And there are actually a ton of varieties. So just like we saw with the Lesser Glyph, which we've cast before, just to remind you all, here's, for example, the Earth one. We can now summon, for our elite, a super dangerous version of each of the 4. And we can even use both at once, which is totally what I want to do next. So that's going to be cool, but because we just used the hounds, we're on a pretty long cooldown right now, so we'll have to wait. Alright, so, yeah, there are pirates here in the Shiver Peaks. It's a weird thing to think about, but I think it's one of the fun things we saw the Guild Wars 2 devs were playing with, and that's taking Guild Wars 1 locations and transforming them massively. So, if we had decided with Siren before to not build our own scabbard, but to find one, we would have been led here as well. And we would have actually been swimming around in that lake down there, searching for dwarven artifacts. And in fact, you'll notice right now, that we're under the effects of a dynamic event. We've just moved away from a meta, which honestly isn't that fun. But we're under the effects of a dynamic event where a member of the Priory is actually already looking for artifacts. So you can do that in the story, and you can do that out here in the open world. So one thing, somebody asked me, they said, hey, WP, I'm really enjoying the series. I'm just getting into the game. What are some good things to check out that I may not have seen before? This is one of them. I'm not going to actually be able to do videos on this because it's going to be like a whole video all in its own. But if you actually swim down there and you collect dwarven artifacts, as you can see, we've got players down there already. If you collect a ton of the artifacts, this event turns into another event, which turns into another event, which turns into another event, and eventually you like see all this cool stuff ending up in a big boss fight that has you travel quite far south. And that's so exciting, and I really for a long time was trying to squeeze it in, but we already did quite a lot of open worldy stuff recently, so we're gonna have to skip over it a little bit here. We're just walking out of range now, so I'll come back in. And yeah, this will just have to be one of those like open world mysteries that is left for you all to go and experience yourselves, or maybe we'll find an excuse to do it, a bonus video or something at some point. We'll see. But this, I always remember when the game first came out and people didn't quite know what dynamic events were. This was one of the earliest dynamic event chains that people made videos on YouTube. And in particular, one guy did a really good video on it that like went viral for the time just because of how cool it was.
Any you can find would be much appreciated.
There you go, look, there's a Norn over there asking for them. However, we've got more pressing matters. We have the final step, oh no, not the final, or the almost final step of this little story with the sword. So, let's head on in. We haven't interacted very much with the Norn, and certainly not the Sons of Svarnir, but trust me guys, they're not a nice lot. So, by the way, listen to the background here, listen. Oh, can you guys hear the birds? Oh my god, I love this place. The birds sound fantastic. And it's for the reason the ambience here that this is actually, especially during the day, I think it's kind of nighttime right now. This is one of my favorite places in the whole game, just to chill out and relax because it sounds so nice. All right, Siren, what's going on? There's lots of dangerous people just standing right near you. Are you safe? Are these guys okay to walk near? Oh, it doesn't look very good. Hey, hello?
Hello there, Norn. We're here from the Derman Priory, and your friend Stieg has something that belongs to us.
We're just here for Frostbeard. Bring us the sword he carries, and we won't hurt you.
Pathetic little bookworms. Stieg Frostbeard is mighty. He will attack Lion's Arch, and we will show you all Dragon's power. Stieg's blood sword is a holy relic of the dragon, Jormag. The dragon blesses Stieg for his faithful service. He will lead us to victory.
It's not too late. Please, think about what you're doing. The dragon may give you power, but in exchange, he's made you slaves.
Abandoned dragon in his time of triumph? Why would we do that?
Lion's Arch is filled with innocent people. You can't do this.
They aren't listening, novice. Time to switch to Plan B. Go get them!
Oh, Siren, diplomacy never seems to work with us.
Let's do this, then.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to have some pretty mean fights that we got to get through now. Here we hear they sort of allude to some kind of attack on Lion's Arch. What their motivation for attacking Lion's Arch is, I don't think it's ever really established.
Why won't you just give us the sword? Is power worth so much pain?
I love that like question there. She doesn't even understand why they would lust for power to such a great degree. Oh, you Savari have so much to learn. Siren in general is lucky we're here because she seems to dive headfirst into the most ridiculous of situations and scenarios. And you're only getting through it because we're such a badass. You do realize this. Alright, let's, speaking of being a badass, let's check out our new elite. Let's go fire attunement, because at the end of the day, we are Balthazar blessed. It is all about that fire. Let's move on up.
The dragon's blood blade cannot be defeated. I will destroy you. He's lost his mind. The sword will turn us all into monsters.
Oh, look, these guys have seen sense. Yes, leave. Exactly. So there we can kill them if we want, but there's no need to. So some of them are actually realizing, oh my god, did you see that guy transformed right as we killed him? Oh dear. Yeah, they're realizing that if they follow this, if they worship this dragon, this corruption, if they seek Jormag in this way, they will become monsters. And unfortunately, not all Sons of Svanir have seen that sense. So his Stieg, if you remember when we were in the depths of that Prior tomb, Stieg was the dude that bailed, and you can see he's got that badass sword in his hand there. He was the guy that bailed, leaving the other guy for us to chop down in his stead. Let's kill his friends before we move on. So here, look, you can see these kind of nasty, scary-looking guys. Siren following us very carefully and closely. And we can burn them down. There's something very satisfying about burning the Sons of Svanir to death. I imagine that the Norn have a very low tolerance to heat.
That was interesting.
Yes, it was interesting, wasn't it, Siren? All right, and here we go. So here's the big guy. Let's do it, Stieg. What have you got for us? So he comes whirling at us. Oh, my lords. I'm going to drop a ton of might. He sends some shockwaves at us.
Good.
We can burn him with the fire grab. I'm staying in fire attunement because I want to summon our elite in a second. Stay away from his big greatsword nastiness. Come on, Stieg. There he is. Uh-oh. So, he does transform.
By the tree. No more polite discussion, novice. It's time to kick some sod.
All right, okay, fine. No more polite discussion. Let's summon our elites. Check it out. Fire Elemental 1, Fire Elemental 2. And don't forget, we get flip over skills, so I can use Flame Burst and Flame Barrage with these guys, which makes them evade and do more damage and burn and things. So there, look at that. Oh, it's brilliant. Sorry, Stieg, but you are no match for our elemental prowess.
I was not worthy of Jormag's sword.
No, you were not. Not at all. Siren, you okay? So here's the Sanguinary Blade.
Well done, novice. The sanguinary blade is ours, and Lion's Arch is safe from Stieg Frostbeard.
It's hard to believe that Stieg was willing to see all his Norn friends die, just to keep the power of the Sanguinary Blade.
That's not hard for me to believe at all, novice. It's typical of the idiots who serve Elder Dragons. The dragons are a blight. They don't care about anything but their hunger. Their followers are just bad. Even if we find a way to save the world from the dragons, I sometimes wonder if we'll ever find a way to save us from ourselves. When Gix told me I was going to be mentoring a new novice, I thought it would be an incredibly boring task. But you know what? I really like you. You're willing to try new things, and you've got a good head on your shoulders.
Thanks, Siren. I have to admit, this has been a lot of fun.
Cherry, come on, let's get the sword back to Gix. After that, we'll work on saving the world.
Oh man, do I detect a little bit of romantic tension here? Hello, Siren. I guess you really do like me, right? So yeah, there we go. We can collect the swords, and we've got one more instance now to figure out what we're actually going to do with it. This guy looks very, very cool. I do enjoy his design. And so yeah, they kind of just throw that idea of an attack on Lion's Arch out there, and I'm not sure really what I think about that, because it seems just a bit out of the blue. A bit similar to, say, when they suddenly orchestrate an attack on Divinity's Reach right at the end of the human stuff. Just seems a little bit strange to me. But I guess it ups the urgency of that little moment of the story, right, guys? Totally respectful storytelling there. Let's jump straight down, and of course, now that we've got our waypoints... Ooh, do you know what? I should have unlocked the waypoint far to the south. We were really near a couple, but we never grabbed them. So that means I'll have a bit of an adventure getting all the way back there later, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's jump straight on in and continue. Hello, Gix. We have the sword. We are back. I hope nothing's blown up or collapsed without us.
At last, the sanguinary blade. I shudder to think of the damage it would have wrought without your aid. You've both done well. Consider yourselves off probation. Further, novice, I hereby promote you to the rank of explorer, with all the rights and privileges, etc., etc. I'd like you to continue your partnership with Siren. Perhaps you can keep this deciduous do-gooder out of trouble.
Thank you, Steward Gix. I'd be happy to collaborate with Siren. We work well together.
Poor Gix. You're just jealous that you're stuck in here being leadery and responsible while we're having all the fun.
Yes, I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Be that as it may, I must rely on you two for another project.
Ooh, already?
Your next endeavor is a research assignment involving one of the lesser races of Tyria. Do try not to teach them bad habits, Siren. Explorer, get a briefing from Siren, and choose which species you'd like to study. Now, go.
He put a very weird emphasis on the word Siren there. That was very strange. So here it is, guys. Oh yeah, the lesser race. We're a rank of explorer. We can get out of this nasty charcoaly looking clothes now, as I know you've all been desperate for me to do, and we can check out some of the awesome Priory stuff. Now, Gix, what do you have to say first? Nothing? Okay, Siren?
Greetings.
Greetings! Is Ract not around? I guess not for now. Which of these races would you like to study, Scholar? Okay, so we kind of went through this a little bit before. Remember, the Order of Whispers around this point in the timeline are also seeking to build bridges with some of the lesser races, perhaps seeing them as an asset against the Elder Dragons. And while Bract is somewhere off in the Blood-Tide Coast right now, sneaky in a dark cave, contemplating helping out the Hylek, Casey has a different choice. So remember, there is racial empathy. Humans can only pick 3 of the 5 total. So who are what we get? Well, we can choose the Skrit, where Bract could not. We can choose the Quaggans or the Hylek. Now, I think that Casey has met quite recently very few, if any, Skrit in the entire adventure, so why'd he be interested in them? Same for the Hylek, but we have met a few Quaggan. There have been some Quaggan around, and as members of the Priory in the mountains, the Quaggan also, we'll find, have got a few bases of operations out here. So geographically, it seems to fit quite well. So which of the races would we like to study, Casey? Well, I've always wanted to swim with the Quaggans ever since we met that first one in Lion's Arch. A few weeks back, I guess. What is it in real time, in game time, sorry, since we were in Lion's Arch, do you think now? After that crazy introduction to the Priory. Well, do you think that maybe each mission is supposed to be a day? Each mission is supposed to be 2 days? I guess it depends on the story arc we're in. But so she says the Quaggans are an amphibious race. It is said they once lived in the deep oceans, but something drove them toward land. So that something would be one of the Elder Dragons, probably, it seems. So, there is, obviously we have information about several of the dragons. We have Kraukatorek here, who is now roosting here in the Crystal Desert, and this woke up only 5 years ago with the breaking of Destiny's Edge, right? We know about this dragon, he's very recent. We know about Jormag having pushed the Norn to the south, and having caused blizzards and great things up in the far climes of the world. We know about Primordus, particularly from Guild Wars 1. But what about the other dragon? Well, that's the Deep Sea Dragon, and in truth, we don't really know much about that one. We don't really know exactly when they woke up. We don't really know what they're doing. And it's because Tyria, presumably, much like Earth, has a hell of a lot of water compared to the land. So there's an Elder Dragon out here somewhere, guys, in the oceans. But their effects precisely on the land masses we can experience is not so easy to measure. And one thing we can look at, though, is displaced races. So there are several aquatic races that have started appearing on the shores of Tyria, at the Tarnished Coast, all around the Sea of Sorrows, Kryta, the Shiver Peaks. Even in the north as well, we see other races fleeing. I mean, most of them are attributed to fleeing from Jormag. But one of those aquatic races that has recently appeared, probably because of that mysterious Elder Dragon, are the Quaggan. So I choose to study Quaggans. And they're very exciting. Especially the Deep Sea Dragon themselves, I'm always really excited by, because I think that element of mystery is really important, and it makes it kind of a more scary dragon than the others, and helps it to accomplish like an element of the world building that the others don't. You know, the more you learn about something, the less scary it is, and that's why it's so important that something like that, an institution such as the Priory exists, you know. Alright, so Siren, what do you think about my choice?
Much to teach.
Well, she doesn't think anything.
Talk to me.
I've noticed here a theme. They've very rarely let us properly speak to Gix. It's like when we join these orders, their leaders aren't very upfront and won't speak to us very much. Hell, in the Order of Whispers, we don't even know who the leader is. But alright, so, there we go. That is us ready now to continue on straight away with the lesser race. But I'm going to spend a second here, guys, just to relax.
The current assessment of our defenses.
Didn't we perform a full diagnostic just last week?
He wants us to run it again. Something must be up. He seemed agitated.
More than usual. I mean, of course. We should proceed immediately.
I think you guys have already heard that dialogue there, but yeah, Gix is concerned. I was originally going to show that to you at a point later in the story. But yeah, so I'm going to take a second. I'm going to relax with some books, and we are going to check out what kind of gear we can get from the Priory, from these various vendors and things. So I'll see you all in a moment. While I'm at it as well, I'm going to come to my inventory here, and I'm going to equip some of the stuff. So this new aqua breather we got these cloven hooves from the centaurs a while back. We can select some stats. We'll pick berserkers. So this is 3 stats: power, precision, and ferocity. I think I talked about that combo already. And I'm going to open my bags of gear here, my bags of loot, and we're going to find as much new higher level gear as we can. So for example, out of this bag we got a ravaging magician coat, which is 95 defense instead of 59, and we get, you know, just a bunch more stuff. I'll also note that as we open these bags, I just got a very special item. This here, it seems like it's the only one we've got so far. This essence of luck. So now's as good as time as any. I'll tell you a little bit about luck. If you remember when I showed you login rewards, where can I go back? So here's the login rewards. If I showed you, sometimes we were getting bags of luck. So what luck is when you salvage items in this game. Like, we got a ton of gear here. So if I want to salvage that down with this basic salvage kit, I can right click, I can salvage all our fine stuff and lower, and salvage that all down. As you salvage, you get the materials from it, like this leather, like this iron, like these cotton scraps, which we can then obviously use for crafting. But you'll also, if you get lucky, get luck. And what luck does is as you consume it, it bumps up a stat for you in the game known as Magic Find. So you'll see here you get different account bonuses. Basically, the longer you play Guild Wars 2, the more these bonuses go up. They are not combat related because the devs don't want grind to be what makes people good at the game, but they do give you nice little benefits. So one of the stats is Gold Find, which increases the amount of gold we get from killing enemies. One of them is Karma Gain, which increases the karma we get. One of them is Experience Gain. And you notice these are quite low values, 27%, 39%. This is, from me, a player who's been playing years and years and years. So the bonuses, you know, creep up very slowly. So it's not like new accounts are severely disadvantaged. And then lastly, you have Luck, which gives you Magic Find. So this, I'll read their description. Account-wide Magic Find is increased by consuming luck. Essence can be found by salvaging fine or masterwork items. And Magic Find is also increased through achievements and rewards. Magic Find increases your chance to get rarer drops. So when I kill an enemy, I might get a blue axe from them, or if I'm lucky, I might get a green one. The more Magic Find I have, the more the chances go up. It's not by that much, but it is a mechanic in the game. And so as we open these and I salvage them down, we get luck, which boosts my Magic Find. And as an added incentive, you even get it for free just from getting your login rewards. So there you go. That's luck. That's another one of the mechanics. And yeah, let's now gear ourselves out. This should be cool. Alright, we're back. I always feel so uninspired in these moments. Like, I've just geared us up. That's right, guys. We're a full-fledged Priory member now. Look at how badass we look. We've got some of the cool Priory glass on our back with the translatable text. We got the Priory's weapon set as well. So we got the Priory scepter and focus, which one of them looks like a key and the other one looks like a broken key, it looks like. And yeah, well, of course, we got the Priory armor as well. I always feel weird, though, because, like, I tried to make myself look similar colors to this guy, but using, like, maybe rarer dyes. But look at how cool we can look with different, like, dye setups. It's just, I'm not very good at different dye setups. So, yeah, imagine we look like a member of the Priory, except, like, we've got a slight color twist, so we look like we're a high rank. Maybe we can do that a bit later. I'm not entirely sure. But cool! Check it out! We got the lowest rank, but we're feeling pretty good now. And we can continue on with our story. So those bags of goods, I didn't get very lucky on them. We didn't get too much new gear. We got a little bit, but not very much. I do have a Diamond Priory weapon container here where we can get one weapon that's a little bit low level, but still I kind of want. And what I'm actually going to collect from this is a new trident, because we haven't picked one of those up for a long time. So let's equip that.
Is the greatest treasure.
And throw away our old one. Because, of course, having met with the quaggans now, we're going to find that we're going to be going underwater quite a lot. So, yeah, that's all well and good. We have a story step icon for some reason that's there. But what we actually need to do is cross all the way across the map now. So, our closest route probably is to go... Oh, I don't know. Which one is it, do you think, guys? I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back to where our story was before, over here, because I think that that's not going to be too far. So I'll see you guys in the green area in 1 moment. Alright, so this waypoint should be good enough. This is called the Demon's Moor. This has always been quite a scary waypoint to me because I don't know why it's called the Demon's... maybe there's a reason for why it's called the Demon's Moor. It doesn't look particularly demonic around here, though. Oh my god, Casey, be careful. Alright. We fell a lot further than I thought we would there. Oh, is this... Can we still make the jump? Okay, we can. Alright, that's good. So, pirates guarding this bridge. Let's fight our way through. We are, of course, a fair bit stronger now, so hopefully we don't have to be too scared. There you go, they got blown up. And that actually reminds me, we have, at this point, a new specialization we can pick up, obviously, right? As we move into the level 50 story. Ow, these pirates actually... I say that we're a lot stronger. These pirates are notoriously difficult. Let's summon our water elemental, and then we can use his flip over skill, which is called Crashing Waves. And what that's going to do is splash a big heal around us. Did you see our health rocket up there? That was the elemental that did that. He's basically like a heal skill for us. He's fantastic. And we can trigger that every 15 seconds. He's just on a little bit of a delay before he can cast that. He's a cool guy. All right, so, yeah, we do have another specialization we can pick up. I really don't know which one I want. We have one more cantrip to learn. Oh, that's a very fun one. That's another elite. Let's not look at that just yet. Let's look at... Oh, who put us in combat? A wasp? Really, Mr. Wasp? We're on an adventure here to get stronger, and you're just randomly attacking me. That's not cool. Let's walk on over here. Looks like we can maybe make a beeline towards the quaggan from here. They are quite deep in the mountains. So, we got air, earth, water, or arcane we could pick. Let's pick air, because I really want to show you guys a little bit deeper now how various traits can change up playstyles. So we're going to go all the way through the line. I'm going to buy it all straight away here. And we're just going to go to this Grandmaster. This is the second Grandmaster. It's going to cost us a whopping 52 points, which is good because we've just got enough for this. Oh, now we're in combat. Oh, there you go. So we're going to buy all of those, and I'll show you what they do in just one moment. Let's kill those guys. Good, good, good. Let's head over to our build. We've got fire. We'll keep all of the same fire stuff that we've got already, which basically is just making us super strong. These freaking elementals. We should summon our own earth elemental to fight this one. Here we go. Go, my earth elemental. Take aggro. I want them to fight. Go on, turn around and fight one another. What if I drag? There you go, that's it. Beat him up. Go. Yeah, use your enervating punch. And another one. One more. He should... Yeah, there we go. He did it. Good job. It's actually kind of amazing right now because the game had downscaled me to level 38 while that enemy we were fighting was level 40. So he was actually going to be a bit of a tricky customer, even though technically we should be much stronger than him because we should be level 50, but the zone has downscaled us to 38. You can see all this in the bottom left here, level scaling, as you can see. So, yeah, Christ, can we equip our... Now we got raptors attacking us.
More to explore.
It seems the further away from the roads we get, the more dangerous the game becomes. Let's just keep charging through. And when we break combat, we'll be able to slot in air. There aren't really any big restrictions on builds and gear and stuff. In this game, it's not like you have to pay for respecs. When the game originally came out, it was like that, but now they just let you change all the time, unless you're in combat. Come on, let's maybe do our build craft here, instead of wandering around and missing out on all the beautiful sights and sounds by having a panel on all the time. Let's come over here. Yeah, you remember that dynamic event chain I was talking about? It ends here. So there's like all this story you can do before you can finally get here. Looks like this guy wants to go hunting as well.
Right, okay. I'll get revenge soon. So what are you still doing here? I like my revenge a certain way. I need supplies, specific items, and certain rituals. A lot of preparation. But it's worth it.
Oh god, these guys seem to be embroiled in the middle of some story here as well. And they might be out and about to do things. Right, so air. Let's look at our miners. We're guaranteed now we will move 25% faster.
And then I said, hey, get away from me, you mollycoddled midget.
Marvelous.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that, I moved out of Holbrook.
People are so chatty in this game. It's unbelievable. And I can't help but stop everything to listen to what they're saying. All right. So now, as long as we stay in air attunement, because we're in air attunement and air specialized, because we've double dipped, this means that we move faster, 25% faster. So Casey's actually running around quicker now, which is fantastic. This is a really fun trait. It means as well, you remember the signets? This signet passively meant we move faster. We now get the benefit of that signet just all the time, as long as we're in air. If we want to move 25% faster while in Earth, we'd need to get the signet back, okay? But yeah, so that's nice. The other minor is this. It's called electric discharge, and it's really important. Strike your target with a bolt of lightning whenever you attune to air. That bolt of lightning will inflict vulnerability. So let me show you this. I'm going to come over to this stag. I'm going to attack the stag with some earth attacks. And now I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do anything, but we're in combat, okay? And now when I go to air attunement... Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? What on earth? It should have worked. What? Maybe it's because I wasn't facing him. Let's try that again. There we go. We go into air and we strike him and we make him vulnerable. Okay, so the build I'm about to show you and the way that the traits are really fun sort of revolves around that. Okay, so you get electric discharge and that works at 900 range as well. It's kind of like the Scepter skill 2, the lightning strike. So we get the lightning strike and the electric discharge. And then lastly we get this as well, raging storm. If we ever manage to critically hit someone, we get fury on us, which increases our chance to crit even further. So, just lots of crit, single target damage on this. So, you get those 3. Now we get to pick some. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up one with air. Whenever we go to air attunement, we get super speed. So, this means we run around really, really, really fast. Whenever you go in combat in Guild Wars 2, you are put into a movement speed penalty. This is known as combat speed. So, I'm walking a little bit slower right now than I would be if I wasn't fighting this doe. Super speed turns that off. So if you watch, when I go to air attunement now, we can run really quickly. And they're going to really struggle to catch up with us. So while running away, we can conjure lightning and stuff. So I love that trait. Really, really fun. Over here, we will take Aeromancer's training. We get more precision when we're in air. And our air skills recharge quicker, so we can lightning strike more rapidly now, and we can crit even better. Remember, when we get that first crit, we get fury. And then finally, that Grandmaster I was talking about, fresh air. And this is what really seals it all together. Recharge our air attunement whenever we crit. And when we go into air, we get a ferocity boost. So remember, ferocity is high crit damage. So basically now, whenever I press this button, air attunement, I do a lightning strike, I give myself super speed, I give myself a ton of ferocity, and I think something else. And obviously get the air abilities. Then whenever I crit, I get this back. So look at how cool this is, guys. I'm going to show you. We're going to start in fire, and if you look at my air, it's on cooldown. I'm going to attack this guy with the arcane wave, which is guaranteed to crit, remember? And that's going to instantly open up my air attunement. So I can go air attunement, and then I can leave air attunement, and then another arcane wave, and I can go back into air attunement straight away again. So by doing all of this and then going and getting some more arcane skills, like say arcane blast here, I can just keep dancing in and out of air over and over and over and over again, striking people like Zeus. How cool is that? So if you really like the whole stance dancing style of Elementalist, I wanted to keep going along that road, but that's really far south. That's very dangerous. I've got so caught up talking about Elementalist here that we're in a completely random area than that I didn't want to be at. If you like the idea of a stance dancing Elementalist, taking air attunement and going all in the middle line is really, really, really fun. You can mix it up and take some of the other ones too, like this buffs our glyphs, which our elite is, and there's some other stuff which we'll continue to sample as we play. But yeah, that's one thing I love. Playing Scepter Fresh Air, and now you guys know what that is. It's a very kind of well-recognizable build, even in PvP, and it shows you a little bit more of how traits... They're not all just, oh, gain a little bit more damage. Oh, in this scenario, or gain a little bit more in this scenario. They're not all really boring passives, but they can actually trigger essentially new skills. My air attunement now does so much different stuff, you could almost consider it a skill all on its own, you know? And it's in that way that Guild Wars 2 actually becomes so much more complex than the original game. People often look back at Guild Wars 1 and the fact it had lots of skills. And it's true, it did have a lot of different skills, but with Guild Wars 2's traits acting a lot like skills in a lot of ways, Guild Wars 2 is like vastly more complicated. In Guild Wars 1, you could have 8 abilities. Often one of those would just be like a resurrection or something, and the other 7 would be very simple what they do. In this game, you've always, I mean, look at me right now. I've got 20 weapon skills, 5 over on the right, flip overs on the summons. There's just a million different things everything does, and so it's a lot deeper. So yeah. Oh my god. Okay, well that became this is almost like a dungeon video here, wasn't it, guys? Me just waffling on and on and on about freaking skills. We could be with a quaggan already. Hopefully you guys found something entertaining in that. And yeah, I don't know. I feel supercharged. I love these moments where you get 10 levels higher, get a new set of gear. We look badass, and we got all new mechanics and things we can play with. New elite skills and whatnot. Here we go. This is the route I finally wanted to go. This way, even further into the mountains now. So we're getting quite far away from Lion's Arch. I know that it was quite recently on the video. You heard people talking about it, but respective from where we were before, I mean, we are really getting far away now. This map is the Dredgehaunt Cliffs. The Dredgehaunt Cliffs were once the domain of the dwarves. But when that race went down into the depths, the mole-like Dredge claimed these lands as their own and battled with the Jotun, the Grawl, and the Norn for control. Alright, okay, so who have we got here? We got Shaman Lorna. She was just talking about communing with the shrine or something. Hello, this is Bear's Jaws Shrine. Do you have the courage to undertake Bear's challenge? I do, let's begin. Kneel before the shrine to commence the challenge, but beware, even a group of fighters would struggle against the spirit bear's strength. Really? We can kneel at this? I've never kneeled at this before. What? There's a bear here, hello? Oh my goodness. Alright, we can try out our new fresh air build. Oh my god, he roared at us, it triggered an event and everything. So yeah, we go into air attunement, we'll knock him down with a gale, go water, back into air. And we lightning strike him again, go into earth, back into air, lightning strike him again. Oh, it's fantastic. And we can just keep backing up the whole time as we do so. Spamming those arcane abilities and air abilities. Ooh, he took 0 damage there. He was in Defy Pain. Glorious. Yeah, glorious indeed. That's great. Look, we get an easy event there. A totem of strength and stamina. Bear gives the Norn power to face all odds. Interesting. Does that mean that there are shrines from the Norn to all of their spirits in this area of the world? That would be very exciting. There's some Grawl. They're not going to be happy to see us. Very tribal, very dim, as we all know. Not going to want to hang out with them very much. Let's run past these Minotaurs. And towards this icy frozen lake. Remember, what did we hear about the quaggan? That they are an underwater species? Well,
to me.
It seems that they do have a little bit of activity out here in Wormblood Lake. This is a beautiful place. Dredgehaunt as a map, many players don't particularly like because it's full of dredge. And as I explained before, dredge are really difficult to fight. They're annoying. They're actually immune to blinds as well. So if you play like a thief or anything reliant on blinds, they're frustrating too. It's full of it, but nonetheless, even though it's full of dredge, it is a freaking gorgeous landscape. I mean, look at this. This big ancient tomb here you can actually explore with that sealed dwarven door. Let's go press F on it and see what it says. There is a way. Oh, look, we've even got a buff on us now. Blessing of Bear. Bear has granted you a temporary boost to your power. No way. Really? Oh, that's so cool. That's using like one of the old boon and buff skill icons as well. Oh my god.
Rising.
More Pinnipals. These guys freaking hurt. Let's get them away. Let's burn them all to death. Oh, look, and a giant shark in the water has just spawned. Actually, it's an ancient barracuda. I don't necessarily want to fight that. Here we go. Let's look at the door. Getting distracted constantly. An etching on the frame reads, "Where darkness hangs, lurks hidden fangs. Through sacred light, unshroud your sight." Read the note on the door. It won't open. Trust me, I've tried. If you want to get inside, come find me at Tavelin's steading. Gervid. I said Tavelin there. That's not Tavelin. That's Travelin, which is a different character to Tavelin, the corrupt member of the Seraph that we were dealing with in the early stages of the story. That's actually a Norn place all the way up there, which we're not going to worry too much about. We're also not going to worry about the ancient barracuda over in that water there. We're instead going to meet with the quaggan by continuing our story with Bad Ice. And there, in that loading screen, you get a little bit of a look at a quaggan village. So we got to slot some new skills. Now that we've trained a ton, remember, there's only one type of skill we haven't looked at yet. Those are conjures. They're very special. We'll deal with those later. There's so much to look at, Ellie. I'm holding them off for the end. But now that we've unlocked so many others, we do have other things we can do. So lightning flash we can use underwater. There was actually very recently a big underwater update as I record this series with you all, and the devs just enabled lightning flash underwater, so that's cool. We can also take our signet, so I'll take the signet of fire. We don't have any elite skills we can use underwater, sadly. Not a single one. But we can get one maybe next episode. And what else do we want? I'm not exactly sure. I mean, you guys know what all of these are now. We could take mist form and become mist underwater, which is a weird idea, but you can. Maybe let's keep arcane stuff so that we have our lightning bolt synergy. We're not on scepter anymore. We're on trident. But I still want to do this. So we'll take arcane blast. You know, we just fire the blast off. It goes really far away, does damage. And it's always going to crit. So, there you go. Cool. And let's see the quaggan. Hello.
Hello, brave adventurers. Quaggan must speak with you.
Hello. Wait, is Siren with us? Oh, Siren is with us. Hey, Siren. Hold on, Mrs. Quaggan. I don't even know if you're a Mrs., but just wait a second.
Greetings.
I can't wait to talk to these quaggans. Their voices are so smooth and melodic, and they're also so polite. Plus, they've seen things in the depths no one else has seen. Agreed, let's find their leader. Yeah, remember what I said? They are from the depths. They could know all kinds of crazy stuff, guys, out in the unending ocean. Okay, let's find their leader. And it looks like someone's already seen us. Hello, are you the leader or are you just an ambassador of sorts? And don't worry, guys. I won't do too much of the... Who are you from the Dermond Priory? Varanos Najero said you would be coming to Quaggan's village. The Priory is here and at your service. How can we help? Quaggan gatherers keep going missing. So it sounds like they've actually got a problem and we're actually first responders. We're not reaching out. They reached out to us. Okay. They go out to collect food and supplies, but they never come back. Falualu village needs provisions now more than ever. Really? Why? Foo, Quaggan knows, but Varanos Najero said not to tell, to bring you to her as soon as you arrived. Follow the Quaggan, and Quaggan will take you to the village for answers. Alright, I'm confused. Okay, lead on, please. It seems we have a lot to learn. There's Quaggan defenders. There are Quaggan regular little villagers swimming around here. They've created these cool, like, nest-looking structures. Are these, like, fish where they, like, create, like, bubble nests out of their own spit or whatever? Is that what the Quaggan are doing to build these? They're kind of gross, really, but we can go inside.
Oh, how are the eggs doing?
Quaggan's not sure. The water is getting colder. It makes incubation tricky.
Oh, well, Quaggan is glad you are here to nurture them. Keep Quaggan informed.
Okay, so that's an anxious Quaggan mother. Foo, Quaggan has much to do. Please let Quaggan get back to work. Of course. Okay, so they're trying to hatch, are they? But the waters are getting too cold. These are just regular Quaggan mothers here. And who are you? Varanos Naraju. Are you the leader, I would guess? Seems like it.
Thank you, Shashu. Quaggan is Varanus Naraju, leader of this pod. You are from the Dermond Priory?
Siren, Priory Explorer, at your service. Thank you for allowing us to help. Tell us about your problem and we'll do our best to solve it.
Quaggans need food, or this clutch of eggs won't survive. But anyone who goes to forage in the gathering grounds never comes back. Foo!
We'll investigate for you, starting with the path your gatherers took. That's where we'll pick up their trail.
Cool. Quaggan agrees. If you meet Shashu on the shore, she'll show you to the mountains where the gatherers disappeared.
Shashu will show you on the shore. My god, that's definitely a tongue twister right there. Okay, thanks again. Quaggan cannot leave Falualu during this critical time, but Shashu is standing by to assist you. So, you guys might have noticed these guys are a little bit interesting with pronouns. They will refer to themselves in the third person this way. They won't ever say I, they'll say Quaggan in this way. How did a village full of northern Quaggan get this far south? Yeah, so if you notice, these Quaggan, as northern Quaggan, I think the idea is that they're from the oceans up here. And later in this story step, they will actually refer to the Arctic, which is like this whole other fascinating thing we'll do very soon. So I think that they're actually Quaggan from the up there that are coming down rather than the reverse. I'm not actually sure whether the reverse is a thing too much. That's actually kind of curious. Yeah, how did a village Get here. This is a long way away. Ah, quaggans were driven south by awful things. Crate. So crate are really nasty snake creatures from the waters we've met before very briefly. Bad ice. Dragon minions. Bad ice and dragon minions. Quaggan need food and shelter, but quaggan do not like to fight, so quaggan moved. So these guys are pacifists, okay? Tell me about your village. Falualu was meant to be quaggan's permanent home. Quaggans came south, picking up more quaggans from other tribes along the way, and then bad ice came. Gatherers start disappearing, and gatherers, okay. How many villages have you lost? Too many. Quaggans barely have enough gatherers left to send out forage parties, much less collect food to feed our quaggans. Okay, and how long have you been Varonos? So this is a title for leader, I suppose. Many years. Quaggan led Quaggan's people in the north, then led Quaggan south to here. It has been hard, but Quaggan is proud to have kept so many alive for this long. All right, okay, cool. Thanks very much for the information. It's nice to meet you all. How we're exactly communicating through our aqua breather. Oh, which I have turned off, do I? Oh, no. Okay, so the aqua breather skin we're actually currently wearing is a very special rare type that doesn't actually cover our mouth, but instead looks like a band across our head. It's kind of a weird skin that the devs put in, and they give it to you as you go through the personal story. So, yeah, I guess we're communicating just by speaking, because our aqua breather is ultra magic mode that just infuses the oxygen straight through our skin into our forehead. All right, so good. Siren, are you happy with all of this?
I have much to teach.
So Narrative tells a pretty sad story, eh? But we can give it a happy ending. Let's get out there and find the missing gatherers. Right. These guys seem very much oppressed for a long time now. And maybe we can turn around their fortunes. So, join me next time, guys, as we continue along to help out the Quaggan. This arc to do with the lesser races is actually one of the shortest arcs in the entire game. So, I predict the full story of these Quaggan, minus this bit here, will be visible to us very soon. Oh, look! This is Gervid! It's a Char! This is the guy who wrote the note on the door. Maybe between videos, I'll go into that tomb, which they're about to open up. But yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you shortly.
This is it. If we're right, this spell should open the door. Here goes. I'll take the lead. And we're in! Now, let's find us some treasure. Hey, come here.
A few more mugs, and I'll be ready for the hunt. What are we hunting today? Gliders? Griffins? Dredge?
Who knows? They all look the same to me after 5 months.